But if anyone else can't be honest with me from here on out, then I don't want you here.
Welcome to Bachelor Party. I'm Juliette Littman. I'm just going to get right into it because I'm excited. Today's guest is the star of Bachelor Winter Games, Lesley Murphy.
Am I the star of it? I don't know.
You were the star to me.
Oh, thanks, Juliette.
So when you were on Sean Lowe's season, I really avidly felt that you should have been the Bachelorette instead of Desiree.
Oh, well, I think I could. I could have carried that torch. But
do you wish you had been the Bachelorette at any point?
I think it would have been a fun role to play. I don't know. Like looking back, I was 25.
Right.
I mean, now I feel so differently than I was at 25. I'm 30 now. And so I think it probably would maybe, who knows, work out way better now than it did at 25.
Yeah,
Is anybody really ready at 25?
No, definitely not.
No.
Are you aware of the Ariana Grande-Pete Davidson relationship?
No.
They're both 24. Are you into pop culture?
Oh, they just got, right.
They got engaged.
Right,
yeah.
they just got engaged.
After dating for
Sure did.
no way more than 3 months.
Right.
But whatever.
Well, this is Bachelor status.
It's true.
Yeah.
ABC would probably love to do a special on them.
Oh yeah, good luck, ABC.
I know. They're like kind of too big time.
Yeah.
How did you end up on Sean Lowe's season?
Oh man, I was in DC at the time, working in politics. I don't know if you remember that corny little.
I do.
Yeah, I was holding up a poster of Sean and Lesley 2016 for president and vice president. I'm very regretful of that moment. But I was working in DC in politics, and my boss was gone one day, and I was just bored at work, and I was perusing ABC.com as you do, and one of those banners popped up, and I was like, apply to be on the next Bachelor. And I was like, I wonder what this online version form is like. And it took 10 minutes, did not think anything of it. 2 days later, they called.
Really?
And I was like, oh my God.
Did you submit a reel? Did you have a...
No. It was just questions, and it was like attach a picture at the end. And I forgot all about it. And they called 2 days later, and I was like, oh my God, I did apply for this reality TV show. And, the application process is pretty long. It's like, send us pictures, send us, all these crazy personality tests. And so I kept going with it. And then towards the end, I got to finalist weekend, and I was like, holy shit, am I really doing this? And I was like, I think I'll regret not doing it more than doing it.
Right.
So I did it.
I liked you when you were on the show because I thought it seemed like you were cool with all the other women, which I think is usually a sign of actually a cool person.
Maturity, maybe.
Yeah. Like if you can't make friends, then you probably aren't that cool and that fun to be around.
Here to make friends, always.
Yeah.
You can sit with me.
Oh, that's so seats not taken.
I love it.
That's really cool. I want to hear more about your Bachelor experience. Let's talk about the episode first. It was probably the most boring one of the season so far.
I wasn't really into it.
Me neither.
I found myself doing other things during the episode.
That's what I call a high TSOP, a high time spent on phone.
Oh, yep, absolutely. Yeah. Oh my God, I was on it the whole time.
Yeah, I was doing other work. I was just, I don't know. I wasn't really fully paying attention, but there were a few crucial moments,
There were a few gripping moments.
A few major learnings too. And let's just start with Garrett, who revealed
how he nonchalantly revealed that Garrett is a divorcee. What?
I know. A big record scratch on that one.
It's just I was watching it with a friend, and we both were we stopped what we were doing, put our phones down, we looked at each other, and we were like, okay. Usually somebody comes in with that night one, second episode, and they're like, I have some news I want to share with you, and tiptoe into it. Garrett's like, oh, by the way.
Yeah, and he also got married very young. He got married at 23.
He said they were married for how many months? 2. Yeah, it was insane. I was just shocked at how he's kind of skirted over it. I mean, he answered the tough questions, but he's 29 and he's divorced, which is at least you got it over with. Yeah.
At least no kids were involved.
Which is interesting you bring that up. I don't know if there's a guy on this season who has kids.
Yeah, I don't think there is a father.
I don't think so.
I wonder if that's because there's Becca's been through so much that we don't want to make it even more complicated. Not that that's a bad thing,
right?
But it just makes it a little bit harder.
Yep, I think you're right. It was an interesting realization.
Yeah.
when I realized that last night.
Yeah, I mean, apparently the woman's name was Kayla Cunningham. That was his ex.
Interesting. Yeah, he said it was very rocky, emotionally abusive.
I know, that was wild. So they got married September 19th, 2015, and then they got divorced March 25th, 2016. So the entire length of the marriage was basically 7 months, and a divorce takes a little while to finalize.
Right.
So, they were together, like you said, a really short amount of time, 2 or 3 months, basically.
Not all daisies and rainbows on that one.
Emotionally abusive is big.
It is big. And it's big that he walked her through it pretty well, I thought.
Yeah.
And you could see her inner turmoil, and then pretty quickly it just kind of vanished.
She came back around. She's so attracted to him.
Oh my God, there are no secrets about him in her mind.
She just wants to touch him all the time. She seems like she's having
giddy smile.
Yeah.
I know.
Absolutely.
She didn't cover it up at all.
Do you like him?
I do like him. I thought, he kind of had a target on his back since everybody found out the likes on social media thing.
Yeah.
And, I think, I don't even know what to say about that. I feel like
you've been in this situation. So like, what is that like to have your social media scrutinized for clues and for people to like assume what you're like based on what you're putting out there on digital platforms?
I mean, I've never really thought about. I mean, what I like,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm a very inclusive person, meaning I don't discriminate against gays or minority groups or anything like that. So you won't see me liking any kind of hatred towards them.
Sure.
So I guess I don't really think twice about what I'm liking because
you'd never think it would like be used to value out. Yeah. Also, you're not like worried about. I mean, but that's the thing is he probably isn't worried about it either. He's like, I like what I like, and like I think this is funny. Yeah,
and as it relates to I don't know maybe past relationships that were public, aka Dean, I think that just getting right into it. That's hard because I think people have opinions about everything.
Sure.
And it's annoying. And I finally had to turn off all notifications for mental sanity.
I've never had Instagram notifications the entire time I've been on the platform.
That's smart because then you actually spend more time on the platform.
Oh my God. And I check it so much as it is.
As is, yeah.
Sometimes I log out because I feel myself going to it too much. And I'm like, I just need some kind of gateway here.
Totally.
I was going to wait to ask you about Dean, but you brought him up.
I sure did.
It's just more interesting.
Well, I knew you were going to do it anyway. So.
More interesting than this episode. Yeah, seriously.
Here we are.
What was it like having such a high profile relationship when you had been out of the reality TV scene for so long?
It was, I don't even know. I think I first realized what life was going to be like when we did the filming in Vermont and cut to January. Mm-hmm. And it was the first time we kind of went out in public together. And we were at Sundance in Park City, Utah, where this, ironically.
I know. And there's like basically one street in Park City, which I recognized. I'm sure you did too.
Same. It's like, oh, that's where, Dean and I were walking up and down that main street. And so we went to Park City together this past January. And he was just getting so much attention, being pulled left and right for photos. And that's when I first realized, I was like, oh, this is what I'm getting myself into.
Right.
Because I'd been out of this world for 5 years.
Just
globetrotting and traveling. And I kind of forgot what it was. And also 5 years ago, during 2013, it wasn't what it is today.
Yeah.
Social media, the kind of quote unquote fame of it all, it's very different.
Yes. Like, were you approached after Sean Lowe's season?
I was.
To do like Instagram promotional stuff?
God, not nearly what it is today. And I moved abroad after that season. So
where'd you go to?
I went to Argentina for 2 years. So I kind of like really went off the map. But yeah, people would come up and, I'd get recognized and all that. But Instagram is such a different world. And I feel like they even have had to cast differently because of social media.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We'll talk more about casting in a little bit. But what were the opportunities that presented themselves to you after The Bachelor with Sean, which was in 2013? I think it aired in 2014.
And we filmed in 2012.
Oh my God.
I'm a relic, guys.
Where were you when Obama won his second term?
Where was I when Obama won his second term?
You must have still been on the show. Or just gotten home.
Because I remember exactly where I was the first time. I was in Athens, Georgia, and
Go Dogs.
I had campaigned hard for that one.
Nice.
And it's funny because I was also supposed to campaign for the second one. Living in D.C. at the time, my boss and I were going to Colorado. He's a big campaigns guy, and I had to walk into his office and tell him I was going on The Bachelor instead. One of the scariest days of my life at the time.
That's hilarious.
Oh my God, it was bad. Yeah, but I remember having to vote, filling out an absentee ballot and kind of going through that via phone with the producers.
Oh my God.
From away, because I was away.
Yeah, you were on the show.
Yeah, exactly. So
because you made it out of the country. You made it to what, like week 6 or 7?
yeah, I was the last one to go home before hometowns. And my parents were like, "We're so sorry. Yay, we don't have to be on TV."
Yeah, I remember you were wearing that Zara skirt. For some reason, I can just really recall. It was from Zara, right?
Yes.
Oh.
You're a good eye.
Thank you. Thank you. I
love a good Zara dress.
Oh, me too. Love Zara. I'm also really into COS these days, which is owned by H&M. Are you familiar with it?
No, what is it?
COS.
Oh, no, I have not gotten anything from them.
It's good. There's a good one in Beverly Hills.
Okay.
They're having a sale right now.
God, you're about to just
dilute
my bank account.
Anyway, so you hit the streets with Dean, and he is like probably the most conventionally handsome person to be on the show, at least for Rachel's season, maybe in a while.
He's beautiful.
He's very handsome.
He
guy.
is. He is.
He was younger. Have you dated a younger man before?
God, yes. And I feel like my last 3 boyfriends have been younger than me.
He's
I just
27, 26?
He just turned 27.
Okay.
So he was 26 when we dated. And that always bothered me. Age it doesn't need to mean anything.
Uh-huh.
But it does mean something if you're not on the same wavelength and maturity levels.
That's what it does mean. It's not like, 4 years is so huge, but 30 for a woman and 26 for a man are quite different.
Very different, because I feel like, I don't think this is true. You can't blanket it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like women are a little bit more mature at a younger age.
I think they're just looking for the kind of stability at a younger age than many men. Not all of them, of course, but many.
So then you're right. 26 and 30 is a hard match.
Totally. Also, I'm 32. I just, like, you start thinking, you're like, oh my God, I'm in my 30s. I got to have kids. It's just, it's literally biological. It's just different.
Yeah. And then you see everybody, my social media feeds are marriages and babies.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe I need to date an older man next.
Yeah. Come on. Let's get you on the up and up with an older guy.
Older men, 30s and up. Hit me up.
See if we can make it happen. Mm-hmm. So then you and Dean had a very, I started following you on Instagram just for your stories to see what was up with you and Dean. Your trip to Honduras for the Honest Coffee. Is that what it's called? Honest?
Generous.
Coffee? Generous.
But similar. Yeah. Similar adjective.
Ben is both honest and generous.
He is.
And did you have any pause about being that public right away? Or were you just like, we're on TV, like, fuck it, who cares?
I don't even think we even thought about it like that. It was just kind of like, we're an item, we're together, we want to be with each other, so we're going to go to the Rose Bowl, and then we're going to go to Sundance, and then we're going to go to Honduras.
Right.
And kind of do what we want and not really care about, who says what.
Pardon the creepy internet stalking, but what did your college friends think about him when you brought him to that wedding? Do you find that question to be creepy, by the way?
No, I don't know if I've ever been asked that question. You ask really great questions. No, and they really liked him. And their family was there too. And, they already liked The Bachelor. So they had a great time. And Dean, I think, was putting his best foot forward that day. And who doesn't want to go see the Dogs play at the Rose Bowl? Like, it was just a good day. And then we won and everything was fine and dandy. And yeah, it was a good day.
Georgia did not win.
We beat Oklahoma.
Oh, I was going to say, did you block that out? Just to be clear.
No, we didn't win the national championship.
Got it.
Yeah. Rose Bowl, that was ours.
Sorry.
No, I know. Thanks, Juliet.
Yeah, just want to be clear.
Open the wound again.
Tua is like a folk hero around here. So I was like, just to be clear, I watched that game at Bledsoe's Barbecue, and it was wild. I actually watched it at a Georgia bar. And people were upset, yeah.
Oh, yeah, people were upset.
Yeah, it was.
We thought this was our year.
Real rough loss.
Rough.
So then why did you guys break up?
Oh, man. I think we were super incompatible. I think that, that Bachelor Winter Games was filmed for 12 days.
Yeah.
And he's attractive. And I would assume he was attracted to me. And that's what first happened. And then we had a really good conversation that first night. I remember I looked up like 45 minutes after we'd been in this conversation, and I was like, I'm still talking to this guy. And so he's interesting.
That's a very fun feeling.
Yeah. He was interesting to talk to, very attractive, and it went from there. And it was such a short show. Mm-hmm. And then everything's curated for you on the show. So then you get heightened emotions, and then you get off the show. And I remember things got hard pretty quickly. And it was just kind of this roller coaster. And some days were good, some days were bad. And I think that the fun started wearing off, maybe a little after Honduras.
What was the one moment where you're like, oh, you want a different life than I do?
honestly probably sometime soon after filming wrapped. But I still wanted to see where it could go.
Sure.
I still wanted to see it through because I don't half-ass anything. Like, I'm not going to get into a relationship if I'm like looking for fame or whatever. I am going to be in it. And so I tried to make it work as best I could. And if I get into a relationship with you, I'm really loyal until I can do no more.
Right.
And so I just, it became so evident, I think, first, that we had very different viewpoints. Like, he would just say things, and I was like, I don't think that way. I think...
Is there an example of that? Without selling him out. I like Dean, having never met him, but
he just like
nice.
has very, very extreme viewpoints. Like, I don't know. I think one time we were walking to get coffee, and he was kind of just like, our lives are so minuscule in the grand scheme of things in this massive world that our lives don't matter so much. Like, he didn't mean it in this like, oh, no lives matter. Like, we're so, I don't know. I was just kind of like, I feel like you matter and I matter and I'm a very positive person. So that struck me as just like, I don't want to be around somebody who thinks like that.
Yeah.
But I was like, I was still open-minded with it. I was like, people have different viewpoints.
Sure.
Okay, let's continue.
Yeah. That's a good way to approach. I mean, you never know. And also, like, sometimes the differences are what makes it exciting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was going with. I was like, well, maybe I think differences are good because my boyfriend before Dean was so different from me. He was Puerto Rican and his first language was Spanish.
Cool.
And yeah, I loved our differences. At the end of the day, I learned a year later that they were too different. So we broke up. But with Dean, I was like, well, maybe these differences are good and we can bring out other sides in each other.
Yeah.
And then that fun feeling started wearing off and I knew it was going downhill.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, it was a bummer. It was a bummer because I think what originally like attracted to one of us, me to Dean and Dean to me, was like, I don't know, we both liked adventure and we both had a lot of similarities that just like, I don't know, began to not matter.
Sure.
Like the good stuff that mattered. Like
the fun in doing the ice skating dance.
Oh, God. I haven't thought about that in a hot minute.
Well, Lesley, it'll be on YouTube for the rest of time. Should you ever forget again?
So will my world's longest on-screen kiss with Sean Lowe.
Oh, my God. I forgot about that.
Yeah, well.
But you're still good friends with Catherine, right?
That actually happened not too far from here. Yes.
She seems really dope.
She is dope.
He seems like he got good girls, except for Tiara, the Sparkle Queen.
Oh, but she made great TV.
She did make great TV.
She was 23, I think, at the time and just couldn't handle the estrogen in the house and like whatever. But you know what? She got sent home right before I did on Sean's season. So I don't think a lot of people realize this, but we flew home together.
Oh my God.
And so I got to have this like weird one-on-one time with her.
Where was it again? Like somewhere, it was like
St. Croix.
Oh, I was like, I think it was somewhere humid, but I couldn't remember where.
A place I never want to go back to.
Got it.
And she's very lovely one-on-one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some people just can't handle groups.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I don't
It's a
like
weird
group
environment.
activities.
It's a very weird environment. Jordan can't handle weird groups, I don't think.
Yeah.
On this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. We should probably talk more about this season.
We can do that.
Let's do that. Well, first, let's talk about today's sponsors. Support for today's show comes from Ben & Jerry's. As a brand, Ben & Jerry's is known for creating quirky and unique flavor combinations, complete with delicious chunks and swirls throughout. It is an indulgent experience, and it is meant to be. Now, with new Moophoria flavors, digging into a bowl of your favorite treat is even sweeter. Because at 140 to 160 calories per serving and less fat than regular ice cream, Moophoria is the lightest way to enjoy all the euphoria of Ben & Jerry's. It tastes so much better than other healthier or better-for-you frozen desserts. And it comes in 3 amazing flavors, including chocolate milk and cookies, which is made up of chocolate and vanilla swirls with chocolate chip cookies. That sounds really good. Caramel Cookie Fix, which features vanilla and salted caramel swirls with shortbread cookies. And PB Dough, complete with gobs of chocolate peanut butter. Give them all a try. Go to store.benjerry.com to have the new Moophoria light ice cream delivered to you. Today's episode is also brought to you by Everlywell. let's be real. Finding the time to get a lab test is almost impossible. Not to mention figuring out how much it will cost or what your results mean. But now it's easy to order the tests you want at everlywell.com. Everlywell is an at-home health testing company that offers a variety of tests, from food sensitivity, which measures your sensitivity to 96 different foods that may be causing discomfort, to metabolism, to an at-home STD test. Yep, you can test for STDs all from home. Each test is physician-reviewed, private, simple, and processed through a certified lab. All you have to do is head to everlywell.com, choose your test, and they'll be shipped directly to your doorstep. Once you collect your sample and send it back to Everlywell's certified lab partner, you'll get your doctor-reviewed, easy-to-read results online in just days. Everlywell is so convenient. No more sitting in waiting rooms, no more mystery bill, and no more waiting on your results. Head to everlywell.com and use promo code BACHELOR to take 15% off your first order. That's everlywell.com, promo code BACHELOR for 15% off your first order. Take control of your health today with Everlywell's at-home health tests. Your test on your time and on your terms. All right, Garrett, he was divorced. Cool. I have a hard time with him I don't know. I just can't see him without thinking about like the social media baggage.
I know. And that's it's unfortunate because that happened like right as the show was airing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I feel like Becca is she's been pretty open-minded. And she's I don't think she wears politics on her sleeve. Mm-hmm. But I feel like she's said some things here and there that, I don't know, have made her sound very open-minded, liberal even.
Yes.
And so there seems to be very, I don't know.
It just seems different.
Yeah.
I think she's just so sexually attracted to him that it's like, it kind of masks everything else, whether she cares or not. And sometimes that just happens. Sometimes you're just like, I'm fucking into you.
I know.
And let's just go.
I know.
Like, she just was like all over him.
Well, and you could kind of see that in the episode where, he tells her he's been divorced, and you can see the turmoil on her face, and then like it kind of fades away.
I know. But with your own experience, how long do you think that kind of portion of their date was? Because we saw it for like, what, 5 minutes?
Right.
Do you think it was like an hour? Was it 90 minutes? Was it 20 minutes? Like, what was that actually?
Oh, it could have been anywhere from an hour to 90 minutes, cut down to that time frame.
Because in 90 minutes, I could see if I was like really into a dude, like I could see myself like talking myself through it. Like, as
and I'm
he's
sure
talking.
they did. I'm sure they did. So you bring up a good point.
They probably asked other questions.
She had to have.
Also, when she compared him to her father, you're just like, oh, you're really in the tank for this guy.
Oh my gosh, I know. And he had a really nice, sweet response to that too.
Yeah, because I think you could be kind of a little creeped out by that.
Totally.
But he handled it
Especially
well.
on week 4.
Yeah. He seems really into her. This is really mean because I shouldn't comment on people's appearances, but he's just such a wide face. I find it like distracting.
See, it's interesting because to me, he's gotten more attractive.
Yeah, I agree. Well, he started off with that really like annoying impression, which I bring up literally every episode.
Come on, when you talk about a minivan, you're not going to be attractive.
I know.
I don't know.
Also, it's like, are you saying that your dream for me is to be a soccer mom and that's it? Like, I would be like, where do you see this family going?
What were your real intentions with bringing me a minivan?
Yeah, but I agree. He has gotten more attractive. I also noticed, tell me if you agree, I feel like she dresses better for Garrett than she did for any of the other dates.
What was she wearing?
She was wearing like a cute parka walking through.
Oh, right. She was. I remember that one.
She looked good. So I don't know. Garrett, she's obviously just really.
She's super into him.
She's super into him.
Not hiding that.
No. And then the group date this week was like just an assemblage of the tryhards. Like everyone on that group date was just trying way too hard.
Oh my gosh! Was this the log?
It was the lumberjack.
Yeah, the
challenge.
lumberjack. Yeah, group date was. I'm shocked. Can we talk about John for a second?
Yes.
Dark horse. Like what? Who is that guy?
John, I was thinking about this. Glad you brought him up. I think he is secretly the most eligible of all of these guys.
Yeah.
First of all, he invented Venmo. Or
I know.
He didn't invent it, but he's like one of the early employees.
He had a lot to do with it. Yes.
So he's loaded. So
Yep.
I'm sorry, that is attractive. Like, like to know you have a comfortable future ahead of you. Sorry. So there's that.
And he can lift a 400-pound log.
I know. I liked how he showed off his muscles. He literally flexed. To be like, I'm not nothing or whatever.
He was so proud of himself too. I love him.
He's the nerd who wants more recognition, basically.
That's fine.
And so I
this
liked
is us
him.
giving him that recognition.
Yeah, I feel like if the Bachelorette is like high school, he's the one who will like do the best in the end. You know? Nerd right now, but best future, basically.
For sure.
I
want
noticed
those guys on your team.
Yeah, totally. He seems smart. And then Jordan, he has to know that she's not interested, right? Like, she wouldn't let him kiss her.
Oh my gosh, when he had the gold underwear on, she was like, I can't take you seriously right now.
Yeah. But if she was into him, she would have been like, yes, let's make out.
Totally. But why is he there?
Just for the producers.
I think he's a producer pick.
Yeah. So when on your season, were you aware that Tiara was a producer pick? Like, how does that work?
No, on screen, like on set. Isn't that funny?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, yeah, I guess I did live on a set. But no, when you're going through it, I had no idea she was
You didn't?
there. Well, no, and she got the first impression rose. So it's
right.
kind of like
That was a little different.
She had a target on her back, from the get-go, but everybody was worried about her.
Yeah.
And wondering why Sean kept her there.
Why did he?
I don't know. I can't figure that out to this day. It's funny to look at the Bachelorettes and who they give their first impression rose to in comparison to the Bachelors, because the past 4 Bachelorettes' first impression roses have been to their fiancés.
Yes. Did Garrett get it? He did, right?
Yeah, he did it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that goes to show that women know what they want, or their intuition is good.
Yes. I also think that they're like, I think there's a lot of things. They're less distractible. Like, I think men are more easily distractible by like a hot woman.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm certainly distractible by a hot guy, but like not if I'm like dating someone.
Well, look at my choice from Bachelor Winter Games.
It's true. You picked the hottest one. You did, though. It's fine. Actually, wanted to ask you, how do you feel about Blake from this season?
I really like Blake.
I knew you were going to, because he reminds me of Dean.
Really?
Yes.
I've seen a lot of people say that. I think when Jordan came on the screen, I was like, oh, there's Dean for this season.
Really?
I don't know. I think it was just more so
the hair.
More so just in kind of the look department. But
Blake is the similar type to me, but he seems like he might be a little bit nicer.
Yeah, but I think Dean was very charming, and I think Blake is very charming.
Yeah. He's also very earnest. Like, when he initiated the conversation this week about like, how many kids do you want to have?
Oh, yeah.
And he wants to have 5.
I forgot about that. And she was like, hold on.
Too many. This was Becca's best week by far.
Yeah, I think so, too.
I really, even though it was boring, I thought she like just came off really well.
She's really coming into her own, I feel like. Like, I don't know. I think she was just tiptoeing in the beginning, and she didn't really know how to take this role. But now I think she's handling it.
How have you met her?
I've never met her. No. Mm-mm.
I feel like you guys would be friends.
I think we would be.
Yeah, she seems cool. She also just seems like smart.
Like, yeah, smart, down to earth, from Minnesota.
I know. I love Minnesotans.
Oh my gosh. But have you been in Minnesota?
No.
Okay, I feel like it's grossly underrated.
I've heard it is really great. Have you been to all 50 states? You're a traveler.
No, I haven't been to all 50. I'm trying to make my way there.
What's still on the list?
Oh gosh, a lot. I really want to go to Oregon. Really want to go to Oregon. I mean, I haven't been to any of the Dakotas.
Me neither. Oregon is a neighboring state. Are you aware?
Yes.
Okay, so you could go pretty easily.
I know.
Just so you know. You could go for the day.
No, I really want to do it right. I want to go to like Cannon Beach and Portland and all these waterfalls. And
have you heard about Crater Lake?
Yeah.
Crater Lake is the deepest freshwater lake in America.
I don't think I knew that stat.
Yes, it has it's always very cold for that reason.
Interesting.
Yeah. Have you pitched your own reality show ever?
In the process.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. Can you talk about it at all?
Not really.
Is it with ABC?
No.
Okay.
We're just in the beginning stages. I have a lot of different ideas as it pertains to travel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. We'll have to keep an eye out for that.
Please do.
You could probably have Jean Blanc on your show because he's no longer on The Bachelorette.
I think I'm good. He rubbed me the wrong way in this episode.
I really wanted to like him, and then what he told Becca he was falling for her. And then once she was like, I'm not there, and so it was to send him home, he just took it back, which...
You don't do that. Like, how do you...
Wild.
No, he literally said, I thought that's what you wanted to hear.
Yeah, that's so bad.
What?
I kind of like admire the unbridled honesty, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can even agree to that. She got so angry.
I know. She really did. Well, I guess she's like having flashbacks to the Ari situation.
Yeah, PTSD.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... But it's not really the same thing. I mean, I think Ari probably wanted to commit to her and just couldn't.
Right. And I feel like maybe it all started with the perfume that he gave her with his name on it.
Yeah, that was pretty weird.
And that freaked her out. And then he just wasn't genuine with that speech at all.
No.
And she knows that.
I know.
She could see through that.
It was a pretty weird play. And I guess, they also, the way it was edited, it was clear that he was playing up the fact that he was interested in her. or that he was like, kind of going to go for it this week. He made it out of California, like made it to the first destination. Like, how can you like cement yourself in the top group? And it backfired for him.
Totally.
It just didn't work out. But
see you, Sean Blanc.
Yeah, he's out. And then her third date of the week was with Wills,
which
was
surprised
nice.
me. I don't know. I didn't know a lot about him. I guess he just never stuck out of my mind. And so
he hasn't gotten a lot of screen time.
No,
however,
he
he has been
hasn't.
wearing his monogrammed Wills hoodie, which I'm really into.
I'm super into it.
I love monogrammed items.
I do too. Like probably too much.
Me too. I have a monogrammed wallet and like so many things.
I have like the road less traveled monogram jean jacket, boob monogram jean jacket.
Cool.
I need to stop with the monograms. But he hadn't gotten a lot of screen time. So when he got the one-on-one, it shocked me. And then it shocked me even more that it went as well as it did.
Yeah.
I think they
She probably
kind
just
of are into each other.
Needed a chill dude in that moment, and he seems like pretty chill and like also confident enough to like not be a tryhard.
I know, because I didn't know if he was going to be able to handle it and like put her mind at ease in that situation.
Yeah,
but he did.
But yeah, it seemed like it went pretty well.
Yeah.
Also, snowmobiling, whatever, great activity.
Great activity. Have you ever done it?
No, I haven't.
It's so fun.
It does seem pretty. It seems pretty good. I've never been skiing. Like I'm not a skier.
Yeah.
As we know from Winter Games, you're a great skier.
I love skiing.
You won that one. Didn't
I did.
You?
Yeah.
Was that like a point of pride?
Not real, like, no, not like it felt good to win it, sure, but it was kind of an easier run. I don't know. And I think, none of those girls had done a lot of skiing before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know. It felt good to win up there with my, at the time, boyfriend, but.
Right.
Yeah.
If you hadn't won, would you have been embarrassed?
Yeah, I would have been pissed. I'm pretty competitive.
Well,
but you know
I'm
what?
happy you did
I
that.
would have lost had Rebecca still been there. I think she left the night before, and she's from Sweden and just like kills every winter activity. So I only won because she left.
I'm happy for you. I would have been upset if you hadn't made it work.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't have a lot more else to say about this episode. Can I ask you more questions about you?
Let's do it.
All right, great. We'll just do some rapid fire.
Okay.
What has changed the most about being in Bachelor Nation from Sean Lowe season to Winter Games? Because you had a few years off.
I did. I had 5 years off. I don't think. I don't know. I don't think I was ever really in it. I felt like back in 2013. Like I came away with a few friends from that season, including Catherine, Danielle, and Robin, and maybe a few others. But I don't. And then I moved abroad, and I just didn't feel a part of that group.
You live in LA, and this is kind of like ground zero of it. Are you in the Bachelor social scene here?
A little bit.
Do you like
now? I mean,
being in
I
it?
just moved here in May.
Right.
So I actually feel a part of this Bachelor Nation, I think, for the first time. Because really, honestly, for the past 5 years, I was abroad for so much of it. And I didn't even get to watch a lot of the seasons because I was abroad. So I just felt like an outsider.
Sure.
A little bit. And so now I feel part of the crew.
Do you guys have like trivia night? Like what's like who organizes Bachelor Nation events like for the alums like you? Like how does that work? Is there like a secret group text?
I think a lot of seasons have group texts.
Is there a Winter Games one?
No. There was a WhatsApp. Because we had the foreigners.
Internationals, yeah. I use WhatsApp with many of my friends.
Really? Yeah,
well,
so do I.
One of my for you, it's great because the reason I like it is one of my best friends, she travels all the time to different countries, and I don't need to worry about her like being in service. She'll always get it through WhatsApp.
Always get it. So we did start a WhatsApp Bachelor Winter Games group, but it really died down.
Well, the couples broke up.
Everybody broke up, but Courtney and Lily.
Are they still together?
They're still together, and they are currently on a trip in Australia.
Oh, wow.
Together.
How
just
lovely.
Like loving life. I know, they're great.
What was it like being with Ashley when presumably she lost her virginity?
Ashley, she, I from watching past seasons of Ashley, I thought she was just this crybaby who, created some drama, but that is really not the case. I find her really
cool.
amazing in person.
Yeah, I like her
personable, as well. Can talk about anything to anybody. Yes, hard worker. A lot of positives about that girl. But you know what? I think she did all the crying behind doors on Winter Games. Like I never saw her shed a tear.
It's because she's trying to win a dude over and she finally learned, don't let him see you cry.
Maybe so. Maybe that's it. Because I never saw her cry in Vermont. I was shocked.
I'm shocked by that as well.
I know. But no, I think other people saw her. Like, she's really close to Ben, so she would cry.
Right. Well, they have the podcast together.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so salty I've never been invited on.
Really?
Yeah.
You would have a lot to contribute.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tell Ben and Ashley.
Ben, get on this. Ashley, do it.
They're definitely not listening, but if you talk to them, and I would really, really appreciate it.
I'll put them on a group text after this.
What's the number one thing people ask you about having been on The Bachelor?
Is it real?
It is real, right?
Yeah, it is real. I think that, I'm living on a TV set. Everybody's living on a TV set, and it's just this weird world. And the producers are kind of, at the end of the day, it's their job to create this TV show. And so you're always like, do these people have my best interests at heart? Probably not. But this is really fun, so I'm just going to go with it.
Right.
But I mean, what happens is what happens.
Right.
And you can't make this shit up.
Did you feel like you were falling in love with Sean Lowe?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was in the process, and because of that, I couldn't tell him 100%. Like I could not look him in the eye and say I love you.
Right.
And I think that's inevitably why I went home.
Right.
And I'm a
probably for the best.
I'm a bad liar. I couldn't fake that.
Right.
And it is for the best because they are perfect together.
They seem really sweet. They're probably my favorite Bachelor couple.
I think so too. And
Molly and Jason are good too. Have you ever met them? They're nice.
I don't know if I've ever met them in person. No.
She's really cool. I saw her at After Final Rose this past March or whatever, and she was like, a second she didn't have to be wearing heels. She put on flip-flops. And
really?
I was like,
I like
respect.
You.
Yeah.
You know who I really love is Trista.
Oh, I've never met her, but I've heard that she's great.
She's great in person. I met her at Catherine and Sean's wedding.
Oh.
And she came up to me. She was just like, I love you.
Were you in the wedding?
I was in the wedding.
I remember.
Yes. It was very interesting.
The cellist playing Michael Jackson covers.
Yes.
I remember.
Steel trap.
Yes. It's often a social liability, but good for podcasts.
It's great for podcasting.
So, yeah. It's
probably also a social liability.
Yeah. It totally is. It freaks people out, but as long as you're not afraid,
No.
We'll just carry on.
Yeah.
What is the biggest misconception about being on a reality show?
Biggest misconception that maybe that you think you have more time. People think you have more time with the lead. Which is no time at all, actually. Like, I find it so funny how when people get engaged or people leave like Bachelor Winter Games as a couple, you have to ask for their phone number.
It's so funny.
After you have a ring on your finger or after you've already defined the relationship.
That's so fun. DTR, yeah, of course.
Yes.
Of course, we all know about that. Did you ask for Dean's number or did he ask for yours?
I think he got mine at the airport before we left Vermont. And no, wait, I think I got his. Yes, I got his. And so because I had his, I was trying to find some clever way to text him in the airport.
Nice.
Which I don't think I came up with anything. Oh, you know what I did? It's a funny story because when we were spending a few days in the hotel before filming began for Winter Games, I just remember everybody's so bored. And all we have is a TV because they've already taken, cell phones away.
Are you allowed to talk to each other?
No. And I had no idea who was going to be on Winter Games.
So you're just alone in a hotel room?
I was super alone in Vermont, had no clue. I had never met anybody on Winter Games.
Oh my God. Did you read? What'd you do the whole time?
I watched TV and that's all I could do.
For how many days?
They took away my computer, everything. I think it was 2 or 3 days.
That's insane.
I think we're just waiting for people to come in and whatnot. And waiting for the weather to happen because there was no snow on the ground. But I remember hearing somebody outside my door yelling about wanting condiments.
Oh my God.
And so I looked out my peephole and Dean was out there asking some producer for ketchup or something. And so I think that's what I texted him first.
That's funny.
Something about, I don't know.
That's cute.
It was because I was getting lunch in the airport.
Oh.
So yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah. And then.
You don't seem that broken up about this. I think you're going to be okay.
Oh, I'm going to be I'm real good.
Okay. Are you dating anyone else?
No, okay. I'm not. I'm actually, I don't know if I've ever been so single in my life.
Really?
Yeah, really. I've always gone from relationship to relationship, boyfriend to boyfriend. So I think this is healthy.
Okay.
And I think, I would probably urge him to do the same. Like that, our relationship ended on a kind of a bad note. And, I think that I think we all have issues, but, I think he needs to work on his until he finds somebody new.
That's very diplomatic of you.
Yeah.
I like it. Who's your favorite person from the season of The Bachelorette?
Guy-wise, Justice for Joe.
Justice for Joe, the grocery store guy.
Yeah, I loved him.
He's going to be in Paradise, I'm pretty sure.
I think so too.
Paradise is filming right now, so presumably you're not.
Yeah.
Do they ask
hard
you?
Pass. Yep.
And you were just like, no?
Yeah, I don't think that's my show.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. And I
respect it.
I've kind of always said that. And I guess I'll never really know because I didn't try it this time or last year. But Winter Games, yeah, I'm always down for that.
Well, I think they'll run it back. I loved it.
I think a lot of people did.
It was really fun.
It was so fun.
It was also like silly. Also, people actually liked each other and were nice to each other. Unlike on many of the other shows where it's a lot more like rivalry.
See, and that's why I really liked it. It brought in all walks of life from all over the world, and people were let to fend for themselves and find out who they really liked.
Yeah.
For better or for worse.
I thought it was really great. I was very much into it.
Yeah, I was too. And I think next time they need to make it a little longer. Because episode 4 came around and everybody's like, wait, it's over?
I know.
So.
Well, they was like pilot testing it.
Exactly.
You should try to be like a host on it if you don't want to be on it again.
I would love to. I know. I was talking about that with a few different people.
Do you have a Chris Harrison story you want to share? Any good Chris Harrison anecdotes?
I do love Chris Harrison. I feel like every time you get into a conversation with Chris, you need to be on your A game because he's like this really witty, funny person who just, I don't know, he schools me every time. And I just think but at the same time, he's so down to earth because he grew up, in, I feel like Midwest, South.
He's from Dallas, I think.
Yeah, I think he's from Texas.
Or Fort Worth, yeah.
And just like also has this like really down to earth, like cool side to him. And we've gone out to lunch and just like hung out, and I just think he's this cool guy who I want to be friends with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you probably can. He lives in LA too. So you should just stay here.
I know. I need to extend this lease situation.
Okay. What part of the city are you living in?
I'm living in Venice.
Nice. Have you run into Dean on the street?
I've run into his roommate at the grocery store.
Oh no. Which is your grocery store? Erewhon?
Oh my God, I just found this like last week for the first time. Erewhon.
Yeah.
It's great.
A lot of CBD products there.
A lot of CBD products. I birded to Erewhon. I don't know if
I know about the birds.
I don't think you can get any more Venice than that.
No, you can't. For people listening, if you aren't familiar, birds are the electric, they're like Uber for scooters. They're motorized, but there's no driver. You just pick them up yourself.
And they're fast.
They're dockless. I've never been on one.
You got to do it.
I know.
They haven't made their way out here to Hollywood yet.
I saw someone on one in West Hollywood, though, on Sunset and La Cienega, and I was like, that's far for this bird.
It's far, and you can park them anywhere.
I know.
I got into an elevator the other day, and a bird was in there just chilling out.
People do crazy shit, like they put them behind like locked gates to drive people insane because you look for it on your app, and you get there, and you're like, oh, where is it?
Yeah, I know. They just kind of
screw
with you.
It's so cruel.
It's cruel, like leaving them in an elevator, because then people have to pick them up to charge them.
Seriously. My favorite of the season remains Blake. The Dean, but better. He's also 100%. Handsome and tall.
I think my favorite is Blake.
Blake,
sure.
Blake, I'm pretty sure he'll be Bachelor, and women are going to love him.
I know. I think you're right.
It's going to be wild.
How old is he? 28?
28. Great age for it.
Great age.
That's the right age, because then you can date for a while and then get married.
From Colorado, yeah?
Yeah.
Love those Colorado boys.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Lesley, I hope you'll come back while you live in LA.
I know.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks for having me. This is fun.
I'm glad you think so. I also will be back on Thursday with the B-side, and much more to come. Thanks again to Ben & Jerry's, known for creating euphoric ice cream with quirky and unique flavor combinations and delicious chunks and swirls throughout. And now, with new Mouphoria flavors, digging into a bowl of your favorite treat is even sweeter. Because at just 140 to 160 calories per serving, Mouphoria is the lightest way to enjoy all the euphoria of Ben & Jerry's. It's available in 3 amazing flavors, including chocolate milk and cookies, caramel cookie fix, and PB dough. Try them all. Go to store.benjerry.com to have Mouphoria light ice cream delivered to you. And also thanks to Everlywell. Finding the time to get a lab test is almost impossible, but now it's easy to order the tests you want at everlywell.com. Everlywell is an at-home health testing company that offers a variety of physician-reviewed private tests, from food sensitivity to metabolism to thyroid. No more sitting in waiting rooms or waiting on your results. Head to everlywell.com and use promo code Bachelor to take 15% off your first order. Everlywell, your test on your time and on your terms.